Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by dentalwebcontent.com and New Patients Incorporated. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Dilatush.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to our podcast. And I've got a very happy partner out there in New Jersey. How you doing, Mark?
Oh, we are bleeding green, thank you.
Feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Feels pretty good. Yeah, going to the parade tomorrow. Oh, no, today's Tuesday. Be going to the parade on Thursday.
Yeah, boy. Are you going to go? There's free beer. I
said, yeah, I'm absolutely going to go. I mean, I'm 56 years old. The last championship we had here in football was 57 years ago. So I have suffered as long or longer than anyone else on the planet. You better believe I'm going to go to the parade. You kidding me? Of course.
Okay. Yeah. You bet. Better know than never.
Me and 2 million of my friends are going. And we're all green. So if you see me on TV, I'm wearing 36.
Okay.
All right.
And with a free beer, what could possibly go wrong?
There's 2 free beers. 2 million of them are coming, and so it'll be good. Everything will be fine.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about direct mail, response rates, that sort of thing. We've talked about it before, but I think we can update it, sort of bring it into present time. How's that sound, Mark?
It seems to continue to come back. It's like like a fashion trend, right? Where you have Howie and Mark saying, no, don't ever get rid of all your bell bottoms, right? Don't get rid of your bell bottom, because sooner or later you're going to want bell bottoms again, right?
Yeah.
The doctor throws away their bell bottoms and they go out and buy straight, old man jeans, and they walk around for a while and they come back and go, you know what? I felt better when I had bell bottoms on.
Yeah, and they're back in style now.
Back in style, right? So that's a really kind of a bad analogy, but
it's a good one. It's very similar.
It is kind of. I mean, Look, we keep telling everybody that direct mail is not. It's growing. It's not going anywhere. Okay, what's really going on is you have a lot of people who threw money at Google AdWords, a big money at Google AdWords, probably the money they were spending on mail. And they tried to manage it themselves, which we can tell you statistically, if you're in even a reasonably competitive market, will end in failure. And
it's too difficult.
It's ridiculously labor intensive if you try to do it yourself correctly.
Right.
You can just bid on 3 or 4 of the most popular search terms and run up the bid until nobody gets any new patients from it. That's fine. Okay, so those are your 2 choices. Either spend a lot of money and a lot of time managing your campaign, or overbid on the most popular keywords so that all the dentists in your area go broke. Because Google doesn't care. Google's sitting there going, thank you, every time somebody clicks on your favorite search term. So anyway, back to mail. So what's going on is we're getting a lot of people coming back and they're going, well, what should I expect this time around from my mail campaign? And well, for all of our customers, we have hundreds of customers who never left. They never stopped doing mail. This doesn't apply to you. You can stop listening to the podcast now. But for all the other customers, previous customers who started and stopped, or maybe you're not even a client. You're maybe a potential new client, or maybe just doing your own thing. Done correctly, direct mail is, I keep saying the word still, it never stopped being the best way to utilize a budget resource for the least risk. Okay, now what people ask all the time, actually there's a thread on Dentaltown, what result should I expect? I can tell you what we see through hundreds of offices in multiple countries. I can tell you averages. So in an average dental market, average dentist, average list of services, amenities, technologies, public relations, assets, and conveniences, average everything, average website, average Google reviews, and online rep. What all that stuff is average. Mail should generate in an average market somewhere between a 2.5 and 3 to 1 first year ROI, and it begins to build continually from there. It just kind of keeps going like the Energizer Bunny commercials, right? Just boom, 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 just walks right through the commercial. That's what you should expect. Now, if you're in a more competitive than average, and it's really, really important for people to understand, because I had a doctor email me, and this doctor listens to these podcasts because he said, when we asked people, how'd you hear about us? And his answer was podcast. So he's listening to this. And he said he's hard to get him on the phone because he does a lot of lecturing. He's an implant. He's a periodontist. He's an implant. He wants to go to direct to consumer for implants. And, how much is your mail campaign? And, my response to him, it's very difficult to give a response. I mean, you can spend $2,000 a month on mail. We have clients who spend over $4,000 a month on mail. So, and anywhere between those two numbers is the right answer. But more importantly is how you support your mail. And that's the updated part of this podcast. Because in the old days, remember about 12, 13 years ago, maybe even less, basically the doctor had a really restricted budget and the choice was do a website or do mail. You couldn't do both, right? So we always put them in mail, and then they got enough money to go invest in a website. Now they have a website and they have mail, and everybody's hunky-dory. Well, anymore, you can't just do a website. You can't just do mail. You can't just do internet marketing. You can't just do offline marketing like mail. You got to do all of it right. So now the game has changed. I grant you, the game has definitely evolved and changed. So now, even an average market, there's a list. There's a list of things you have to do in order for you to get what you want. What you want is a steady stream of higher than average quality new patients in the market you serve. That's what almost everybody listening to this podcast wants. Okay. So if you really want that, you need a website. You need to update your website every 4 or 5 years. Just plan on it. Budget for it. It's a reality. You need to have that website position for the majority of the keywords and phrases that local consumers would use to find dental services. That's going to pay you off in the long run.
Yeah, and the reason for that, just so I don't get accused of keeping the obvious to myself, is that when they get your mailer, they go to your website. So exactly. You have to have a very good website to handle all their questions.
Exactly.
They will. Yeah.
Right. And if it's done in concert, if it's orchestrated, if this is what we do. Okay, so we have clients that have all this stuff, and it's all the same designing team that's designing it. So they're orchestrating it with each other. So the conversation that the mail starts is finished when the client gets to the website. Doesn't look different. Right. Looks the same. Okay, it's not a new conversation. It's a continuation of the conversation. All right, so
it's thematically consistent.
Exactly. Right. So anyway, I don't want this to sound like a commercial. So website. I'm going to tell you that more and more and more and more people are going from the mail to the website now and calling from there than ever before. That's a trend that started probably 6, 7, 8 years ago. Yes, we have call tracking numbers on our mail pieces. Yes, we are seeing a declining volume in those calls, but an increasing call volume from the website. Okay, those are your mail recipients getting your mail, not calling the number on your mailer, but going to your website and calling the number on your website. It's the same number of people that were always responding. They're just responding once they get onto your website. Now, another prerequisite is reviews and online reputation. You can't be the dentist, or you don't want, I'm not saying you can't be. You don't want to be the dentist who is 13th in line for the best number of reviews and the best Google review score. Because a lot of these patients will get your mail, look you up on the internet, and review other dentists. And if you're the person with 6 Google reviews and there's 9 other offices with over 30, your mail's not going to work as well as it would have. So your online reviews and online reputation will help. Okay? Just trying to give you every opportunity to get where you want to go. Another thing that really, really helps is online scheduling. Because you're not in your office 24/7, 365, but the ability for the patient to schedule is available 24/7, 365. All your patients need is a browser, and they can make an appointment in your office. Okay, so that's going to convert more. So bottom line, if the question is how much should I expect from my mail, in an average market, with all those marketing assets lined up, installed properly, working, producing, and everything I just said is easily affordable in an average dental practice, okay? If everything is in alignment, oh, wait a second, I forgot a couple things. And your office answers the phone, and when they answer the phone, they're at least moderately effective at converting a new patient phone call into an appointment. I'm not asking you to be experts. I'm just asking you to be moderate. I'm asking you not to be offensive. That's what I'm asking you. Okay? Okay. If you're not offensive on the phone, and you have those other assets to support your mail campaign. Your mail campaign supports your website. Your website supports your mail campaign. Your reviews support your website and your mail campaign. Everything supports each other. It's kind of like a circle. It just continually, rotates. And everything is working in unison with each other. Then I don't see any reason in the world why you won't get a first year 2.5 to 3 to 1. I can tell you what we've done that really brings this into focus. What we've done recently, probably within the last year, is about a year ago, I noticed that people were stopping their mail campaigns, and I'm thinking to myself, why? I mean, that's okay. We just, we don't bug people. It's like, okay, if you don't want to do that, what else are you going to do? And whatever. They had a friend that does PPC in his basement, and there goes $4,000 a month. But for whatever reason, they decided to stop their mail campaign. And I was like, why? What? And I call them because, we care. We give a crap. And they say, no, I didn't get, I don't think I got a lot of patients from it.
In other words, it's a tracking problem, and it's missing information, which I'd like to continue to explore right after we take this short break. Hey, Mark, we should tell people about this new product we have, NPI Command.
Well, probably new to the podcast listeners, but not new to the customers who use it. So let me go through the finer points. NPI Command is a system we use. It's an artificial intelligence system that creates decisions on where dentists, our clients, should put their pay-per-click money when they do Google pay-per-click ad campaigns. If you're someone who's already done them, then you're probably frustrated by the cost of the negative clicks. Well, if there's an artificial intelligence platform monitoring your negative clicks, you can see immediately how doing these on an artificial intelligence platform will allow for a faster build and the faster allocation of the advertising money to the places that are bringing in good clicks. Because with every PPC campaign, there's sources of bad clicks and sources of good clicks. And the whole idea is to throw all your money in the good ones and pull your money from the bad ones. So NPI Command is our PPC department, and it's not just a department of humans, it's an artificial intelligence platform as well.
Okay, we're back. So what's the problem, Mark, when Dennis would tell us, I don't think I'm getting a very good response?
Yeah, it's the same problem they have with almost every advertising media. The way we solved it is we do what's called a cross and compare. If you do your own mail campaigns, whether you do them through NPI or you do them yourself, this is an absolute 100% no-brainer. What you do is, let's say that you're doing your own mail. So you have a mail list, comes in a spreadsheet. And let's say you do mail for 1 year. And in that year, 240 new patients came into your practice. So at the end of the year, you're thinking to yourself, I wonder if my mail worked. Hardly anybody came in and mentioned the mailer. I don't think it worked. So
he might think, or she might think, we got way more from the website,
or whatever. Or you'll listen to the person at your front desk and the last 7 phone calls in their memory, and you'll make a judgment there. And what we're saying is, no, if you have your mail list and you have 240 patients on a list, just compare the 240 new patients to the addresses and the people on your mail list.
Right.
That's all you got to do. That's what we started doing. Like, because I was looking at it, analyzing, like, why do these people feel like they're not getting the results? I mean, some of these people were 7 and 8 year clients, 9 years, 10 years, right? No, it just doesn't work anymore. Well, no, that's not true. Okay. So what we just started to do, it takes quite a bit of time, but whatever. We would say, hey, send me your new patient list. They do, last 12 months. And all of a sudden, their reports were showing 30 new patients from the last year. And when you do the cross and compare, there's 80, 85 people on there, 90 people. Right. Okay.
Yeah, there's a very good chance that the person, the address that you sent the mail to, who later became a patient, there's a correlation there. They got the mailer,
yes,
and then they show up in your practice. They're not disrelated events,
right? There's either a correlation or you've been struck by lightning 80 times. Right. You can pick one, whichever one you want, but there's absolutely a correlation between those two events, right?
Right.
So then the doctor goes back and they update their database in the referral field and they put NPI mailer, NPI mailer, and then they run their production by referral source report and they see whatever. They spent $24,000 a year on mail and $73,000 already came in, and these patients haven't even accepted all their treatment yet. And then the decision's like, when do we get started again?
Yeah. Right? How soon can we?
How soon can we do this again? Exactly. So
the other thing that was quite revelatory. There's that word again.
He's using revelatory again.
Revealing. Then how's that?
That's fine.
Was that there's more than one patient per address that shows up in the mailer.
Oh,
right?
that happens all the time.
So you see, Mrs. John Q. Smith comes in, she's a patient, and she lives at 1234 Elm Street. And then 5 months later, Mr. Smith shows up. He also lives at 123 Elm Street. What a coincidence.
Amazing. What a coincidence.
And then the 3 kids and on and on and on. But it's not readily apparent, at least at first, because that happens over time.
Right. So this phenomenon that we're seeing now, because we grew like a weed during the recession years. And then dentistry kicked a little bit of a upswing, probably the last, I'm going to say, year and 9 months, year and 10 months. We're almost 2 years into a rebound in dentistry. And you know what happens? I mean, when dentists get busy, probably the last thing they think about is marketing. What the hell are they going to think about marketing for? They're busy. Okay. So we also saw some dentists, I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. Maybe it's marketing messages, or I don't know. They're on a forum and they're talking to some dentist that thinks it's dead. I don't know why, but we've had, not our clients, but we've had lots of folks who just said, you know what, I'm going to put all my money in internet marketing. I'm just going to leave it all there. I think what's going on now is a lot of them are coming back.
Yeah.
The internet is a really easy place to get spanked. Especially if you're going to manage it yourself, or if you're going to manage it through someone who really doesn't have the technology necessary to manage it appropriately. I'll just leave it at that. So I think what's going on is this reallocation of money is actually bouncing back. And when it bounces back, the whole reason for this podcast is welcome back. That's the first reason. Our doors, we're like Motel 6. It's a joke around here. That's what I say all the time. We're Motel 6. We'll just leave the light on for you. We're not going to bug you. We'll just always be here. But when you do come back, the question is how do I make it so I know what's going on, or how do I know more about what's going on? The cross and compare, absolutely 100% helps.
Yeah.
I think our renewal rate now is like 94% on mail. So it's ridiculous how much it helps. The doctor just looks, quantifies, makes a decision, take care of a tooth. that's boom, 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 I'm done. Okay. There's no thinking about it, talking to the lady at the front desk. Doesn't matter. None of that stuff happens. It's just quantified evidence. Let's move on. Now, the electronic side should be basically the same. It should be just as transparent. Actually, it can be more transparent on the electronic side, because there's really there's an artificial intelligence platform monitoring the whole thing all the way through to the revenue the patient generated at the first line of impact. So in the future, for everyone listening to this, especially our clients, one of the age-old problems with being the commander of a dental practice wasn't that you couldn't make up your mind. It wasn't that you were making the wrong decisions. It's that you were making improperly informed decisions. It's not that because every time we show someone a cross and compare, they're like, yep, that works. Okay, where do I sign? It's a no-brainer. So what was going on is that you were making decisions based on poor or improper information.
Yeah, or incomplete or missing.
Or totally missing, right? Yeah, exactly.
Look in the referral fields in your practice management software. How many of those are blank?
Right.
A whole bunch.
Right. So we're through these years, we've seen that as a problem for our own clients, right? And invested heavily on our end in solving the problem. We know on the internet marketing side that we have, we don't know anybody in dentistry who has the ultimate solution. This is the ultimate solution. Having artificial intelligence run your campaigns is the solution. I believe we're the only ones in dentistry that has it. It goes straight through to your practice management software and tracks the patient through to the revenue. It's integrated. Okay. So that's the real deal. Now, our next move is going to be I'm going to try and get the cross and compares done so that a client can just sit there with one dashboard, see all the internet results, the calls, listen to them, see the revenue, the patients, all that stuff. But also at some point in the future, what I'd really like to do is I'd like to load their mail list right next to their dashboard and have it look for those patient names and addresses and do the quantification of the ROI in real time. Not there yet, but obviously the internet marketing piece was obviously the biggest piece, and it's the first piece. And so anyway, that's where your direct mail, that's where the measurements come from. They come from a cross and compare. So if you're managing your own mail campaign and you have a mail list, you have the power to do what we do, okay, which is just go look for the patients on your mail list. That'll tell you where they actually came from. If your mail's not working, it doesn't mean that mail doesn't work. It means that the way you're doing mail doesn't work.
Yeah, and if it's not working, you would want to know that. So would we.
Yeah, so would we. Exactly. That's what I keep telling people. Hey, doc, I don't want you to continue to do mail if it's not working. I mean, I think we have two clients where we're like currently confused about why it's not performing at what we expected. All the rest of them are at or beyond expectations. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So if your mail campaign's not working, it's probably not that direct mail doesn't work in your market. You probably did it wrong, or you're probably doing it wrong. It's designed wrong, or one of the biggest things that people do wrong is target it improperly. There's another place that people went with their monies. They went to EDDM. We've already done one or two of these podcasts on EDDM. It's basically government subsidized Satan, okay, from a direct mail standpoint. Sorry, but I actually got on a Dental Town the other day, and I was trying to help the guy out. He's got a startup, and he's doing mail, and his question was, I dropped 10,000 of them. Should I keep doing mail, or should I move the money into my PPC campaign? And I'm thinking to myself, why doesn't the guy just do a cross and compare? So I log on to Dental Town and I say, hey, buddy, why don't you do a cross and compare? That'll tell you exactly, where that'll quantify the value of your return. Okay. And you know what his answer was? No, I can't, because I don't have a mail list, because I'm doing EDDM.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, there's another reason not to do EDDM, because you can't cross and compare it, and you don't know the value of what you're doing. Okay, anyway. So that's your direct mail update. Everything dovetails in with everything else in order to make it work. 2.5 to 3 to 1 first year ROI. It'll grow 30% a year for 3 more years after that. It's just the way it works.
Yeah, with a caveat that you have to do it right.
You have to do all that stuff right.
That's always the caveat.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, our wonderful, loyal listening audience out there. We're happy to come to you again. So we're going to sign off now.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Oh, they already won.
Yeah, they did.
Thank you, everybody. Bye now.
We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can find more podcasts on our YouTube channel, on Stitcher, and iTunes. Also on our websites, dentalwebcontent.com and newpatientsinc.com.